Yeah, hello folks. Welcome to this afternoon's stream of Final Fantasy VIII. And the plan today is to get to the point of no return. Well, it's called the point of no return. All it means is that a lot of the towns are blocked off for the remainder of the game. So, the reason I'm only getting to there is because I do want to advance the story. But there's still stuff I want to do. In particular, I want to mess about with Angelo's search using the turtopods that spawn in Esther City. And yes, you can access those enemies on this fort in various other locations. But in my view, the Esther City location is the best place for them since they spawn so regularly. Good afternoon to everybody that stopped by in chat. Or good morning, good evening, whatever time zone it is for you guys. Yum Yum, Philip, Rinoa, Shadow's Edge, Red Mario, Ritz, Danny, Scott, good to see you all, and Tim, hello. Yeah, thanks for stopping by stream today. We've actually made some really good progress in this game. I can't believe that it's still drawing in such a crowd a month after the release of the remastered version. And it's pretty cool being able to make all the walkthrough videos that I've been doing. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the game as well. Hey, Tim number 2. Greetings. So yeah, Angelo's search is a fantastic ability, especially in the remastered version, since it gives us access to a whole load of stuff that was originally only available as part of the Chocobo World side quest, whereas now, because we don't have the Chocobo World side quest, it's been included in the remastered game in that Angelo search functionality. So I'm looking forward to manipulating that, getting the most out of it, getting access to the ribbon, and really powerful stuff such as that. So, we're not going to be doing that today though. We can do, but there's probably more exciting things for you guys to be doing than just sitting down as I leave Angelo's search. Actually, we can't even do Angelo's search at this moment. We need to go to the next part of the game, which will reunite Rinoa with Angelo. Yeah, little point for you there, guys. If you're trying to do Angelo's search at this point, even though you've got Rinoa, you won't be able to. Anyway, let's move on. Any plans to finish Final Fantasy XII for Switch? No plans at the moment, DC Rooms. I have done a complete walkthrough for the game though on PS4, which is pretty much the same. There's a few minor differences in that you can't switch jobs on PS4, but they're pretty much the same game. So yeah, by all means check that out if you haven't already, but no plans to finish the Switch version right now. Oh yeah, it's good to have you with us, Phantom, and J-Man as well. Mr. Anomalous. Oh, school run at this time, is it? Hey, Mystic Sky. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, Red Mario, the turtopod. I've got the method already. I just need to make sure we can access it. Right, then, so what we're going to do now, but which we can't until we've actually got Angelo back. But what we're going to do now is head over to the Orphanage, Adea's house, whatever it's called, and hopefully proceed with the story. Actually, there's one thing I want to do that I've kept meaning to do for like the last 2 streams or so. And that is we can visit the crash site. I've got no real reason to do so, other than to show you guys that you can do it. It's kind of like a hidden location. Mainly due to the fact that it's not actually on the map or anything. But like I say, you can do it. So it is worth just stopping by. So you can at least say you've been there. I think it's over here. Hey Brendan. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this playthrough, to tell you the truth. Oh yeah, Win Hill I think is the one I'm missing. We'll have a look in the list before we move on, Red Mario. Although I'm not going to the point of no return yet. What I should... How have I titled this episode? Let me check. What I'm planning on doing, you see. Oh yeah. I've put getting to the point of no return. I'm going to rename it to just before. We are going to be proceeding with the story, but there's a little bit of story we can do now without actually hitting the point of no return, even in the Lunatic Pandora. So I'll be leaving the Lunatic Pandora just before it gets to the point where all the towns are closed off. And the reason for that is so we can still do stuff like Angelo's search before we get to the end of this 3. Anyway, Let's have a look. I think the crash site is around here. I think I've got Ballum. For some reason I can't land. Oh, that's better. Pretty sure I've got Ballum, but I'll check, Red Mario. Morning, Joshua. Yeah, so will I actually, Tim. So will I. I have been really enjoying it. Right, I think it's around here. You wouldn't believe it. There's nothing on the map. And there's even nothing like physically in the world. But there's a step we can take around here that will allow us to enter the crash site. There it is. See, little secret location that not many people know about in this game. Jeraim, I've been following your guide, loving the content you're putting out. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this game as well. It's been fun making content. So we've got the medical crew. And we've got Piet. Now, the only reason really to come here is if you want to play Piet at cards. Now, the only reason you might want to play Piet at cards is because of the fact that he can play the Alexander card. But if, like me, you've already done the Queen of Cards side quest and all of that good stuff, then obviously he won't play that because you'd already have it. Oh, crikey, I did not mean to do that. Dear, it's a good job I saved, isn't it? Oh, it's okay. He hasn't done anything with the rules. That was fortunate. Right, let me just check. Yeah, okay. So we're back to Luna rules now. The other thing to note about the crash site here is that I think the Queen of Cards can be sent here on disc 4. Although we'll sort that out later. But it is worth just noting where that crash site is. Like I say, at the very least, you can get the Alexander card if you don't have it. Hey, Genocide. I haven't yet, Joshua, because I haven't yet gained access to Angelo Search. But yeah, I will be making videos on Angelo Search quite soon, actually. We're going to be getting through, well, close to the point of no return, popping over to Win Hill. I'm pretty sure I did add Win Hill to the shop list. I'm sure I did. But yeah, it will be soon. I'll be doing Angelo Search stuff. I've still not got access to it, though. I can buy the book now from the Esther pet store, and I've got Renoa in the party. But we don't have Angelo in the party. We get him reunited with Renoa in a short time, but it's not happened yet. Hey, Robbie. Welcome to the stream. I haven't really done too much with Link's Awakening, Ricks. Nobody really seemed interested in that series, which is fine. So I was going to just play it on my own time. I'd rather just put content out that people want to watch, to tell you the truth. But if a lot of people are interested in it, well, not a lot, but, you know, a few more than the minuscule amount that were watching it, then yeah, I might do. Hey, Wes, welcome to the stream. Final Fantasy X. I have actually done a Final Fantasy X remastered walkthrough. Genocide, it's on the channel somewhere. I think there's like 75 episodes in it, and we take care of all the optional bosses and all of that good stuff. So. And John Doe, checking out the RNG videos. Nice. Yeah, they're really useful, they are, aren't they? I can't take credit for actually discovering them myself, but they are certainly useful, so I'm glad they helped you as well. Yeah, some of the rule abolishment stuff can be a bit of a nuisance, can't it, in Final Fantasy VIII? So anything that makes that easier is always welcome. Well, let me just check my shop list here. I thought I had Win Hill, but apparently not. Hey, good morning, Shana. How are you doing? Talked about tea a few streams ago, and you love Earl Grey. Yeah, I like Earl Grey, Tim. Problem is nobody else in my household likes it. They don't even like the smell of it. So I have to be really fortunate to be able to get a cup of that. But yeah, I do like it myself. Yeah, and eliminating Luna rules is really useful, isn't it, before you go to space? Especially if you want to get the Alexander card as early as you can get it. Right, hello, Win Hill shop. Let's just have a look, see if that's been added. Yeah, it's there somewhere now. There it is, look. Right. Ballum shop. I think that's the right shop, isn't it? Let me just do a very brief search, because we are getting to the point of no return. If we want to get all the shops added to the list, then it is important that we make sure that we just check we've got them all. Right, I think we have got them all. Yep, I've definitely got them all. I'm just looking at the list on Google now. Timber Pet Shop, Ballum Shop, Dollet, Timber Normal Shop, Delling City, Win Hill, Fisherman's Horizon, Esther, Man from Garden, and then the final 3 Esther shops. Yeah, we've got every shop now, guys, in the cool shop list. And we're not quite at the point where you can't add any more because of the point of no return, but we're very close to it. So I do recommend, if you want to add all the shops permanently to your cool shop window, or to your cool shop list ability thing, then you do so before going any further. And the ones I've just had there are all of the ones you can get. Alright then. Yep. I just saw that on the Google list, John. But yeah, it's a good point. If you've got all of the shops on page 1 and then one shop on page 2, you can know you've got them all, which is helpful. Right, we're going to the Orphanage, Adia's house thingy, to actually advance the story now. The only other piece of optional content I need to do is to get Irvine's ultimate weapon. I mean, at this stage, but we can do that in a short while. Then we've got to do it right this second. This side. There it is. I was thinking I'd lost it then. I knew it was around here. Right, let's go ahead and save. Why is that red, Mario? Is that something you can only do? Okay, I will do that. I'll go back to Ballum Garden and speak to Zoo twice. We can just fly into it, I think, can't we? Yeah. Red Mario says go back to Ballum Garden and speak to Zoo twice. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully the game won't explode. Yeah, I've done all of the CC stuff myself as well, Tim. Hey, Anthony. Congrats on 100% in the game. Is that the remastered version? Yeah, don't jig around too much, Joshua. You might get in trouble. Zoo, is she still on the bridge? Let's have a look, shall we? Right, okay. Right, speak to her twice. Oh, fantastic, Anthony. Yeah, well done on getting the platinum. I'm looking forward to getting that myself. I probably would have done if I wasn't actually streaming, but because of having to edit videos and stuff, it's taken me a little bit longer. Ah, okay, of course, yes. Okay, I don't think we have to speak to her, Red Mario. But it's probably a good idea just to cover all bases, isn't it? And make sure we've done that. So she's not repeating any... She's repeating a dialogue now, so hopefully. Okay, well, we're going to the orphanage now, Red Mario. Hey, Steve, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think a lot of people would be happy if they remade Final Fantasy VIII. I just put a video out on that for you guys in stream that might not have seen it. The fact that Yoshinori Kitazi has actually just spoken about a potential Final Fantasy VIII remake. Not, of course, that... Hang on, I've come to the wrong place here. Not, of course, that it's confirming there's going to be one, but that he himself would like one. And seeing as how he's quite high up in the ranks of Square, it makes me think that if there is going to be another remake after Final Fantasy VII, then it sounds like they're just dropping the hints that it is going to be for Final Fantasy VIII. Yes, I can try and do that, Tim. It is a bit of a nuisance to find. It's quite a pinpoint location. One thing I do recommend is making sure you don't have turbo speed on, because it causes you to skip too many frames and take too many steps effectively. Right, I believe this is the first ladder. Right, we can speed up now. Okay, and now we run across here. Go up here. Yeah, up here. There we go. Okay. That's all the ladders. And then this is where he'd be. Located just around here, the Master Fisherman. Yeah, the PlayStation 5. Looking forward to learning more about that, Yum Yum, as time goes on over the next few months. I'm just a little bit scared about how much it's going to cost with all this new tech they're talking about. I mean, I understand they want to include a solid state drive, and that kind of makes sense. It really does, because, well, loading times are getting a little bit obscene with many games now, aren't they? With all these new modern high-definition graphics and stuff, and 4K graphics and what have you. So I can understand absolutely the need for solid state, but, you know, when you start talking about terabytes worth of data, that is pretty darn pricey with solid state storage. Wrong way. So I am very intrigued as to how they're going to do it, because either they're going to have to keep storage low, which I don't think people are going to be happy with, especially when, you know, many 4K games now are over 100 gigabytes in size. Simply chucking in a 500 gigabyte solid state drive and saying, oh look, loading times are faster now, isn't going to cut it. People aren't going to want that. I think a terabyte is going to be the absolute minimum we need to be talking about in the next generation, and I do mean that has to be the minimum. And also, I wonder what type of solid state storage they're going to be doing. If it's just normal solid state drives, or if it's going to be NVMe, which typically are much faster. Because they said it's going to be high technological solid state storage, which makes me think it's going to be NVMe. But then that is pretty pricey. So I am very much excited to see where the consoles are going to go. I just hope they don't end up pricing themselves out of the market, because nobody will be buying them then, will they? And then we won't get games, and everything will just go haywire. So I'm sure they know what they're doing, but we'll have to find out exactly how it all plays out. Yes, Beyond Wings, a possible Final Fantasy VIII remake, and it is just, you know, a smidgen of a possibility right now. But it's changed my mind. I used to think there was no chance of a Final Fantasy VIII remake because of how divisive the game has proven to be. But now I've changed my mind and think that if there is going to be another remake, Final Fantasy remake after 7, that it will be Final Fantasy VIII. So, yeah, probably a good idea, Tim. One of the good things about the PlayStation 5 is the fact that it's going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. So all your PS4 games will play on PS5, apparently, and it's going to be hardware compatibility, not software, so everything should work. But at least that means that if you do get a PS5, you can sell your PS4 Pro and, you know, have that rekindled towards the actual cost of the PS5 and still play all your games. But I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. We'll see how things unfold. Anyway, let's move on now, because I've been blabbering quite a bit. And we actually need to make progress or we're not going to get anywhere. So let's head over to the Orphanage / Adia's house. Save our game. And then move on. Yeah, one thing I've heard, Anthony, is that the backwards compatibility of PS5 is going to be completely backwards compatible with everything of Sony's PlayStation eras. So PS1, 2, 3 and 4, from what I heard, are going to be fully playable on PS5. One thing that I would like to know if it's going to be backwards compatible is PSP. That would be interesting. Maybe even Vita. I doubt Vita because there's too much extra control-y stuff, like with touchscreen and what have you, but who knows. Right then. Yeah, I think if there is going to be a Final Fantasy VIII remake, it would be after Final Fantasy VII has completed. And seeing as how that isn't going to be anytime soon, because we're only just getting the first game next year, there's going to be multiple releases, I wouldn't expect it for a while, to tell you the truth. But the fact that they've actually spoken about it now is at least in and of itself. Oh, I've come to the wrong place, haven't I? Meant to speak to Adia and Sid. Oh well, save my game. Let's just go ahead. Red Mario says it's a good idea to speak to Adia and Sid before coming here. So we'll go and do that. Yeah, I've got the feeling now today that because the Vita wasn't the biggest success story for Sony, that I'm not going to put any hopes on them releasing another handheld like a successor to the PSP or something. Nintendo really seem to have cornered that market. Right, we'll say hello to these. Okay, so just in case you guys have forgotten, although I'm sure you haven't, most of you know more about this game than I do. But in a previous episode of Final Fantasy VIII, Ultimacia lost control of possessing Adia and ended up possessing Rinoa, effectively passing the sorceress powers, or the possession powers rather, over from Adia to Rinoa. Oh, I think I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, hopefully you guys didn't catch that. I think I did try and mute everything. Yeah, probably do it for a cash grab. Could do now today. Like a quick buck type thing. Right, well I've chatted to Sid and Adia. I don't want to swap rules around. This is... What rules do these guys use? They use Centra rules, don't they? Sid used to use Balam Garden rules. But now he's using Centra because he's moved over here. Right now, for me, the Centra rules are set to open and trade rule 1. Which isn't too bad. So I'll happily keep it at that. I do eventually want to get it set to open rule with no random, elemental, sudden death or any of that same wall stuff everywhere in every region. I think we're getting pretty darn close, to tell you the truth. Oh, is that our last opportunity to get their cards? Well, I've got all of their cards. I've got the Adia card, I've got the Cypher card, but I suppose that's useful for others to know as well, Red Mario. Ah, multitasking a bit there, Tim. Yeah, go for it now today. You'll manage it, I'm sure. Oh, that's awesome, Tim. 20 years. That's a long time. Wow, it makes me feel old thinking about how old these games are, because I actually remember them coming out and playing them, purchasing them from the shops, and what have you. Oh yeah, good idea, Red Mario. The difference is pretty much the best rule to have, isn't it? Without a shadow of a doubt, really, because of the fact that it only changes into the one rule after a while. Have you not been using Quistis too much, John? I think I've been using Zell quite a bit more than Quistis, although some of her limit breaks are super, super powerful. Degenerator has so many decent, you know, practical uses in the various... Well, it only has one use, of course, to eject an enemy, but so many battles where that actually is useful. Hey, greetings, folks. Those of you stopping by on the stream. Wagon Life, thanks for joining us. Car Gamer as well. Pretty much, Adam, if you can come to the region just carrying open from another region, or open and one of the rules, sorry, like elemental, then you should be able to spread open, then go and pick the rules up again, and then start abolishing rules in that region one by one. So it shouldn't be too late to do that. You're confused about PS5 taking all games on board. I'm not sure what that means, sorry, Robbie. There is physical games for PS5 as well as digital releases. Kaido Hero, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, we're getting very close now, folks, to the point of no return. But we're not going to be actually reaching that today because there's still stuff I want to do. I want to make videos on, in particular, of Angelo Search, which we can still do on Disc 4 as far as I'm aware. I've not really used it too much in my previous playthroughs. But I want to try and get some videos done here on Disc 3 before we move on with it. My favourite Final Fantasy, Robbie, for me, is definitely Final Fantasy VII. It's just the one that I think gives me the most nostalgia because it's the first one I played and I've got various memories tied up in it. But it is a great game as well. It's not perfect in terms of its presentation, but the overall story and characters and gameplay were, for me, something that I'd never experienced like that before in any video game. Oh yeah, I remember those, Rinoa. Hey Ryder, welcome to the stream. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys, as we make our way here through the final parts of Disc 3. And before anybody corrects me and says we can't call it Disc 2 or 3 now in the remastered version because it's all digital, ha! When you save your game, it actually says Disc 1, 2, 3 or 4 still. So it is perfectly acceptable in my view to still refer to each part of the game in that fashion. True that it doesn't ask you to change discs anymore, but it does still have reference to the fact that this is, or at least was, a disc-based game. Oh yeah, definitely remember that with the Final Fantasy VII graphics. You know, for me actually, going back, Final Fantasy VII was the first game that had such high production values with the cutscenes, the cinematic cutscenes I'm talking about, the pre-rendered ones, the movies, even the 3D characters. And yet it's interesting that even Final Fantasy VIII, I know we're playing the remastered version here, but even the original Final Fantasy VIII improved upon the graphics of Final Fantasy VII, not having characters kind of like being absorbed into one another and not using the same polygonal type of models, and having a consistency between the pre-rendered cinematics and the in-game models. So even on the original PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII back in the day really did seem to innovate on graphics, and yet it certainly wasn't the best that could have been done. Maybe you've got a cat or something, Robbie. Can clean it all up for you. Although maybe that'd be pretty wrong. Yeah, no, I definitely look forward to that. Yeah, spreading open is so important for the first job of rule manipulation. Yeah, a few people actually that I've spoken to, Renoa, have said that Final Fantasy VIII was their first Final Fantasy, and then playing Final Fantasy VII afterwards. I'm interested actually, since you played them in that order, which did you prefer? Would you say that Final Fantasy VIII was your favourite? Okay, well, after this scene, we're going to head back to... I did actually play, back to the Ragnarok, I did actually play the Final Fantasy VIII demo. Hey, One-Winged Angel. Welcome to the stream. But the demo I played was the PC demo, back in 1999. And it was a different demo to the PlayStation demo. The PlayStation demo took place over Dolly, didn't it? The mission to Dolly, where you destroy the spider and stuff. And it had quite a few differences to the eventual release of the game. But the version that I played was the PC demo, and that took place where you go to the training centre with Quistis, fight the T-Rex Saw. And I do remember that demo, I played it through numerous times. Oh wait, I never actually played Final Fantasy IV until the 3D remake came out. I mean, that was quite a while ago now. But I'd never played the original incarnation of Final Fantasy IV back on Super Nintendo. Was that a game that came to the West originally, or was that one of the Final Fantasies that never did? I think it did. No. I can't remember. Oh, sorry folks. Had a lot of messages in chat. I'll look away for 5 seconds. Final Fantasy X was your favourite. Love the limit system. Yeah, Final Fantasy X has proven to be quite divisive, but I actually really enjoyed that game. I love the sphere grid actually. At first I wasn't sure about it, but I love the way you could make your characters so powerful. You could do like 99,999 points of damage and what have you with a single hit. You really felt like you could achieve unlimited power in that game. And I loved the endgame content for Final Fantasy X because there was so much of it with all of the Dark Aeons and Penance and all of that good stuff. I really did enjoy it. I know a lot of people didn't. Oh yeah, that's right, Red Mario, isn't it? Mega Flare. That's what he's famous for, isn't it? Right, I think we're off to Esther now. Trying to max your stats, DC. If you've done absolutely everything else that you can do, such as leveling with all of the stat boosting abilities from low level and all of that good stuff, then I think devouring is going to be your best choice to go any further, depending on how much patience you have. I'll probably do some videos on Devour at some point, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it myself, actually max the stats out completely. But I'm pretty sure it's the most practical way. Except luck. Luck is just a nuisance because of how time consuming it is to get a single luck junction scroll. Right. So we're going to make our way over to the palace. Yeah, after 7 years, I still haven't got the knack on YouTube of playing a game, as well as keeping up with live stream chat. It's a skill that I just haven't mastered, probably never will at this stage. Hey, thanks Kaido Hero. Yeah, that was a fun walkthrough to do actually, Final Fantasy XII. A fun platinum to get as well. I'm looking forward to getting the platinum to 8 also, however. I have saved Red Mario. I've saved twice in slot 1 and slot 11. Can we talk to these guys? We can actually do the Angelo trick now, by the way. I'm not going to. Let's just see if I can show you roughly how it works. If we go ahead, the first thing we need to do is read the book, which I don't have, but that's okay, we can buy it. We can buy it from the Esther Pet Shop. How long have we been playing this? It's number 5 that we want. Well, this playthrough for 57 hours. Goodness me! How have we topped up 57 hours on this thing already? There it is, we need to read this. There we go, Angelo search. And with that read, all we need to do now is find a Turtopod. I'm pretty sure you still get random enemy encounters at this stage. I hope you do anyway. I think they're just kind of rare. You can get Turtopods out in the Esther Fields, but they do spawn here as well. Yeah, I just haven't leveled up the other characters yet, Robbie. I will do at some point. There's no real need to right now. Oh, Final Fantasy XII today is a very different Final Fantasy experience. But there's a lot to love in it. So it is worth it looking into if you haven't already. The Platinum Trophy, Robbie, is what I'm talking about. You mean with the fixed encounters, Red Mario? Oh, there's a Turtopod. If you get other enemies with the Turtopod... Why the heck has Zell been forced into the party? That's no good. I need the magic command. I wasn't even paying attention to that. Anyway, sorry Red Mario. To answer your question, I'll be doing that on Disc 4 once we've gained access to Eden, having drawn him from Tiamat, so that we can gain access to his refinement ability. Right, let's get Zal out of here. Bring Quistis back. Oh, don't believe I've just done that. Ugh. We can't switch members. We're forced to have these members right now. I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogue. It doesn't matter if we are. Oh no, we're not. It was just because we weren't at a save point. That's fine. Doesn't Renoa still have to learn it under her status? You're talking about Angelo search? I think she just has to read the book, to tell you the truth. Oh, right. No, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. So does that mean that right now she still can't use Angelo search? She has got Angelo back, of course. We don't even need to speed things up. I don't think it makes any difference to the timer on Angelo search, whether it's in turbo mode or not. Or the battle enhancement. Well, this is the Turtle Pod trick. We've done everything we need to do. I don't have the other limit breaks for Renoa that interfere with Angelo's search, and I don't have Odin, as you guys know. I haven't really dabbled in Angelo's search all that much on previous playthroughs. It's only because of the fact that the Chocobo World stuff has come through to the Final Fantasy VIII Remaster that I want to really explore it and see what we can do with it. Just got to keep running around until she learns it, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. I'll keep it active now. So she can't do it yet. If we just go to status. Keep Renoa in the party. And then we just got to learn it. Yeah. Let's move on then. The only point to leveling Guardian Forces Frank, really, in the remastered version, is the fact that it makes them more powerful in battle. But if you're not playing the remastered version, in other versions of Final Fantasy VIII, earlier versions, such as the PlayStation one, certain abilities are locked for Guardian Forces until they level up, but not in the remastered edition. Okay, so I think we just run around, take steps. Yeah, look. So she is learning it now, slowly but surely. I don't want to make this a video on Angelo's search, because I will be doing videos on that. Yeah, lots of exercise, yum yum. Too bad it doesn't actually translate across into real life. I'm just thinking, if this was some kind of VR setup and I had to really move in order to get these characters moving, I doubt I would have got past the first hour of the game. Ah, we're about halfway there now. Hey, Paul. Oh, okay, nah, today. To be honest, it seems to be working pretty fast, just running around Esther, look. Right, yes. You should be able to do Chocobo World, Red Mario. Is there any way you can emulate that? How's it going, Fristy? We must be nearly there now. Oh, so close. I like it, Robbie. VR, if you've not tried it, it's something you can't really explain until you actually get to use it for yourself and experience it. Ah, I heard a little dingle there. A jingle, rather. I did not know that you got a jingle then. For learning a limit break on Renoa. Right, let's go ahead and save, shall we? And I'm going to save in 2 slots, since we know that we can do the Angelo search trick here. If the worst comes to the worst and we lock ourselves out of it. Oh, I haven't seen that info, Robbie. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII remake based on the trailers and what we've learned so far about the game. Well, let's see if... I've ended up doing a flipping Angelo search video here, haven't I? And that wasn't my intention. I'm still going to do a dedicated guide for it. Pooping right now. Hey, thanks for your feedback. I'm glad the guides have been helpful to you. Right, so what we want to do is just get rid of one of those. Go ahead and confuse the other. Can take a couple of attempts with confuse just to get this to work. You'll know when it's worked because they'll close up, which he hasn't done yet. Let's just turn on battle enhancement to speed things up. Oh, come on. Oh, is he confused now? Oh, no, he's not. You'll know when they're confused because they won't open again. Okay, I think he's confused. Right, that's it. That's the Angelo search trick. You can literally leave the game as it is right now, go to bed, come back 9 hours later, and have a whole batch of items. I'll just see if I can get it to trigger once. I'm not going to obviously farm at this point because we're doing it live on stream. I've not played Final Fantasy II, to tell you the truth. Kaido Hero, I don't think anyway. Legend of Laguna was a game I played back on PlayStation 1. Don't remember it a huge amount, but I remembered that I enjoyed it. Hiya, Zarek. Yeah, I thought it'd be fun, Zarek, to watch this enemy spin around endlessly for an hour. Now, what I'm really doing, mate, is something called the Angelo search trick. You can leave the console on overnight and come back to a whole host of powerful items, including the awesome ribbon accessory that's been added into the Angelo search functionality for the remastered version. And I'm not farming right now, I'm just seeing if we can get it to work. But it's a great trick to use from what I've heard. Never done it myself before, that's why I'm just testing it out now. The first time, it can take about 5 to 6 minutes before Angelo search triggers. But after that, it should happen more regularly. If you leave the trick on overnight while you're asleep, say for 8 or 9 hours, then according to GameFAQs, you'll get about 40 items by the morning. Oh, I tell you what, I love Beat Saber. D-Witty. I really, really love that game. It did take some getting used to, even for me. But I really enjoyed it. Good exercise as well, I found. Yeah, a little bit Zarek, isn't it? A little bit. I'm not going to stand here for an hour. Don't worry. I just want to see if we can get it to happen once, one time. See what item we get. Probably a potion, knowing my luck. Incidentally, I don't think it makes any difference having it on turbo mode or not. The timer itself doesn't change. Yeah, so the Angelo trick, Isaiah, is once you've learned Angelo search, so long as you followed my advice earlier and didn't get Gilgamesh, because he'll interrupt this trick, you can actually leave the console on overnight with this enemy here, which won't do anything. And then you'll keep triggering the Angelo search limit break automatically, which farms items. And it's the only way in the remastered version to get powerful items like the ribbon ability for Guardian Forces, which teach a character, or when equipped on a character, prevent all negative status ailments, and other powerful items as well. So I'm not doing the farm right now. I've just set it up as if I was going to. There we go, look, to make sure it's going to work, and it is. And Angelo will do a search every 5 minutes or so, giving you about 40 items if you leave it on overnight. So we've got a Mog's Amulet. Ah, I heard that is quite a rare item, isn't it? Let me just check. Maybe I'm wrong on that. That'd be a nice first item if it was rare, though. Mog's Amulet. It teaches the Guardian Force the mini-Mog command. Okay, so it teaches the command ability Mini-Mog to a Guardian Force, which can then be assigned to a character in battle. It's only available as part of the Chocobo World minigame. Oh, that was faster this time. Or, hang on, what do we get this time? Yeah, a cottage. Yeah, not very good, but at least we can see this trick is working. So yeah, my very first item from Angelo Search was a rare item, and I've never had it before in any game of Final Fantasy VIII that I've played, because I hadn't really done a whole lot with Chocobo World previously. I'm interested though in finding out what it does. It's an ability you can set, and I think it summons. Okay, it actually means that you can heal your Guardian Forces in battle. So that is interesting. That is interesting. We'll just go for one more Angelo search. I could imagine it's getting addictive, finding out what rare items you can potentially get. But we'll see what we can get on the next one. Then I'll quit this battle, escape from it or whatever. And then we'll just save our game, have a play about with the mini-mog ability, reload the game so that I don't have to prat about actually abolishing an ability on a Guardian Force for it. Oh yeah, rare item is a trick. It doesn't actually increase your chance of getting rare item, only the uncommon item. Which is usually pretty useless. Hey! Stud1PE1. Probably there is a way to pronounce your name, but I wouldn't even hazard a guess at seeing what it is. Anyway, you've been playing the remastered version after watching the videos. Just want to say it's helped you a ton. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad that the guide has been helpful to people. I'm going to have a look in a sec, Yum Yum. We'll see what we can do with that Mog's amulet. I was just hoping to get another Angelo search off here, but seems to be taking its sweet time. Did I farm any luck junction scrolls or triples off Odin? I did do a video, didn't I, Red Mario? I don't know if you saw it. After you shared in a comment about that little trick, it did work. I didn't farm any luck junction scrolls though. I only got the one. I couldn't be bothered to do the farm, but at least we saw the method was working. Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it, Zaruk? Around Christmas time next year. So probably just over a year or so away. I think so, Mystic Sky. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to look, the design of the PS5. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a huge fan of the dev kit. I do actually like a more sleek, simple design, but I don't expect it to look anything like that. The PS4 dev kit was radically different to the final PS4 design. King Skittles, love all the streams of Final Fantasy, buddy. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you, King. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, okay, folks. To save you guys going insane, I'm not going to spend too much time here. We'll just briefly see if we can get one cheeky Angelo search to take place, since we did get a rare item from the first one. But if it doesn't happen in the next 30 seconds or so, then we'll quit out of the battle. At least we know Angelo search is working. The trick is, though, making sure you don't have Gilgamesh, don't have Angelo recover, and don't have Angelo reverse. 3 things which I've told you not to learn, I haven't learned, and so we can do this trick now. And get a whole bunch of good stuff. Yeah, backwards compatibility is going to be an important part of the PS5, isn't it, Sarah? And not just for PS4. Oh, there we go, Angelo search. But for all the PlayStation era. From what I've been told, anyway. Including PS3, which will be pretty good. Since I've still got quite a big PS3 library I'd love to get back to. Mega Phoenix. That's pretty darn boring. Oh, yeah, I have heard about Luck, Red Mario. It's really, really powerful for many reasons, isn't it? Yeah, a lot of people just think of the critical strike stuff, but it's not just for that. It affects other things as well, I think, in battle. Right, anyway. Let's go ahead and leave now. Let's escape. I am going to be farming for the ribbon, but that will be an AFK farm. Oh, I forgot to turn battles off. DC Rooms. It has been confirmed that the speed turbo boost doesn't affect Angelo search, unfortunately. I wish it did, but it doesn't speed up the search at all. It's not set to the timer, the same timer as whatever the turbo speed is set to. Which is kind of unfortunate, but you can't speed it up, sadly. Right, so let's go ahead Have I got any Guardian Forces that just have a spare space on them, save me using Amnesia Greens? Yeah, Bahamut. I'm going to reload my save game. This is only for a temporary test. So let's just have a look at the item that we nabbed. Oh, there it is. Mog's Amulet. So Guardian Force learns mini-Mog ability. Should we also just see, before we go ahead and do that, if we can use anything to refine from Mog's Amulet? Yeah, we can turn it into a Shaman Stone. Although, to be honest with you, I think Shaman Stones are pretty overrated by this point in the game. But that's good to know. I don't think we'll be able to get any ammo from it or anything like that. Nah. So basically it'll be useful for getting Shaman Stones. Let's go ahead, shall we, and teach it to a Guardian Force so we can test it in battle, just as a bit of fun, and then we'll reload our game again. When did I get an Aegis Amulet? Can't remember. Right then, I'm giving it to Bahamut. He's learnt Mini-Mog. Oh, we've got to flipping learn it first, haven't we? I don't know if I can be bothered to do that right now. Unless it's really quick to do. Oh no, of course, when we give it teach abilities from items, they're learned automatically. Okay then, so who's got Bahamut? Rinoa. Let's give her... Oh, it's one of these, of course. Mini-Mog. And let's see what happens, shall we? I don't think I've ever seen it, you know, in all my years playing Final Fantasy VIII. How if I actually turn off the no encounters? Oh yeah, good point, Yum Yum. It does speed up the animation, so I suppose if you're leaving on a farm overnight, you might get an extra 1 or 2 in because of that. Right, let's see Mini-Mog then, shall we? Now, what Mini-Mog does is heal your other Guardian Forces that have taken damage, so it's fairly useless, but it is the only way to heal Guardian Forces in battle. So if you are summoning Guardian Forces and they are taking damage before they get cast, and you do want a way of healing them, then I guess it is kind of useful then. Moogle Dance. Oh, look at that. I can't believe I've never seen this before. Yeah. Should we see that just one more time? Just for... Oh no, the characters do not want to go through that again. They're like, we're getting out of here. Well, there we have it then. The... Mini-Mog ability. So, previously I stated that the Mini-Mog card was the only way to see Mogs in Final Fantasy VIII, or Moogles rather in Final Fantasy VIII, but it turns out that's not the case. We have the Mini-Mog ability. Oh yeah, I'd be interested to hear how many you get in that amount of time, Joshua. Just make sure you might have to turn your PS4's power savings features off. Otherwise, you'll probably come back a week later and find out that it turned off after 4 hours and never actually did anything in terms of farming. You can, Steve. You can manipulate the RNG, but you can't manipulate the RNG and leave it on overnight. You can't force an item to show up, but you can force the time to be short in between searches. There's a huge GameFAQs article about it. It is very confusing. You will get more items, but you can't leave it on overnight because you have to be constantly interacting with it. I think you can get an item every few seconds. Well, not every few seconds, but not quite every 5 minutes type of thing. Yeah, Red Mario's correct. It's not so much as manipulating RNG. It's more just using a few manipulation tricks of the RNG numbers to do it manually, if that makes sense. But you can't force items that you want. sadly. Oh dear, I did not realise I've been going for over an hour. Crikey, I actually only wanted to do the story stuff that we haven't even yet got to. I did not intend to do all that Angelo search stuff. But hey, at least I've got the footage recorded to make a video. But right then. So hey, Game Slayer. Okay, so this is the bit we can get to in order to challenge Laguna, isn't it? It certainly does, King. It certainly does. Oh, okay. Get the Squall card first. Yeah, chatting to you guys always makes time fly. I probably won't even get to story stuff now this episode. It seems kind of pointless starting it. I have got work and stuff to do as well, and other videos I want to record. Seems pointless doing like the last few minutes of the stream just starting and getting myself locked into a story point, which I wouldn't be able to finish until Friday when we stream again. Right, so let's go ahead and battle Laguna. I'm so glad we've been sorting out card rules amongst all the regions. Hang on, why have I got Renoa? I do not use Renoa in cards. Yeah, I'm going to do that, Red Mario. Once we've got through the card game, well, multiple card games. This is going to be one of those, I bet, where you never play Squall, isn't it? Ooh, that is a new manoeuvre by this NPC here. That is really odd. They never normally play a card underneath the top left position. In my experience, they usually always put them to the right of that first card. That is interesting. Okay, I know you can take that back, which is fine. Wow. We can't actually win this game. His whole little routine of how he did that threw me off. It really did. Okay, big head. Yeah, appreciate it. I hope work goes okay for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. Ah! Squall. Ha 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 ha. Right then. Let's stick Ifrit down here. Oh, that's very, very tactful of him, playing that card there. Can't take it. Oh, man. I think we're going to have to take this one. Even though we can take it back. Yes, yes, yes. That's all very fine. Ah! I think we've won. I think I'll take my own card if you don't mind. Why did you have that, Dad? Nope, don't play again. Let's talk to him normally now. Hey Roman, Trickster. Yeah, it is very addictive. It's one of my favourite Final Fantasy minigames of all time. It really is. And then normally, you know, it can become a bit of a pain if you don't get on top of the card rules. But because we've been doing that on this playthrough, it's stayed fun throughout the whole experience, really. Yeah, so we can talk to him now. Yeah, I actually thought about maybe starting a project of making a set of triple triad cards in real life. But then I just realised I would not have the time to do that. Yeah. Get some backstory here. Always useful. I know, man, that revelation. Yes, they do, Yum Yum. You can just buy them. I don't know if there's ever been an official set of triple triad cards released, although it sounds like there has been based on what people have been saying in chat. But there's definitely been unofficial triple triad card packs released, which look pretty good. I saw a link that somebody posted recently on Reddit to an Etsy page where somebody's selling them, and they looked awesome, but a little bit pricey. You're on part 11 now, are you, Adrian? Hey, well done. Yeah, which is your favourite soundtrack, would you say, guys? Adele looking very manly there. Is that the new remastered model, or did Adele always look so beefed up? I honestly can't remember. In the field model, I mean. Yeah, I think you can play Triple Triad as well. You used to be able to from the Kim website. You could download the software and play it on your computer. I used to do it a lot. It's called Triple Triad Gold. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I just did what you suggested not to do. Or suggested to do, Wes. Yeah, this is where Laguna sends Adele off into space. where we previously discovered her earlier on, wasn't it? Hey Roxana, welcome to the stream. Possibly. The only thing is, D. Whitaker, the way I understand the law with Hein and stuff, Hein is the being that made the sorcerers back in the day. They could only be women. So I'm pretty sure Adele is supposed to be a woman. Just a weird design, isn't it? And there she goes, off to space. And that's also, incidentally guys, going off into space is what triggers all of the radio interference throughout most of the game, so that it cuts off all the wireless signals for like 10 years in the lore of Final Fantasy VIII, with Adele orbiting. Yeah, I'm doing very good, thanks, Roxana. Okay, so we can talk to him about a couple of other things. But the final thing we need to speak to him about is Ultimacia. So we've already done this one. Let's just go up the list, shall we? What movie are you guys talking about? You folks talking about a movie? In chat? I think I've missed it if you are. Oh, okay, Red Mario. Well, that'll be handy. Yeah, definitely. I think I did have plans to mug that boss for those items, but it's good because there's less farming to do then, especially if you want to max out stats. But if you don't want to max out stats, taking easy stat boosting items is really a no-brainer, isn't it? Oh, Advent Children. Thanks, Renoa. I have got the Blu-ray. I haven't watched it for a while, though. I've not heard of that, Wes. I haven't done a whole lot of Nintendo stuff on my channel, so I'm not really well versed in their procedures, but Nintendo have traditionally been nightmares to work with for YouTube content creators, which is why historically I've generally avoided their games on my channel, although recently they've backed down a little bit in terms of what they allow. But they've always been the worst of the bunch in terms of allowing their games to be displayed over the internet. Yeah, I saw Spirits Within at the cinema. I don't think I've seen it again since, but I did see it at the cinema. With my family, in fact. Interestingly, my mum enjoyed it. I always remember that, and I have no idea why. She knew nothing about Final Fantasy. Not that you really needed to watch that movie, but it was pretty much critically panned, and yet she still enjoyed it, which I found quite interesting. She wasn't a gamer or anything. Yeah, I'd say so, Steve. A lot of game publishers have embraced it, haven't they? The whole streaming phenomena. But Nintendo, they obviously saw things differently for the longest time. Although, like I say, they have laxed a little bit in that area now and do allow streaming and stuff for their games. Although it's still harder work to do Nintendo stuff. Yeah, Ultima Seer, who, as you know by this point, is a sorceress from the future, used Alone's ability to peer back into the past to possess sorceresses from the past in order to use them, which is what she was doing with Adia, and then subsequently with Renoa. And Ultima Seer's big plan that we are now learning of is to compress all of time and space to a single point that she may absorb it and take on power unlimited. Using the Alone Junction machine in order to do so by peering into the past in order to control those who are sorceresses. Yeah, how's it going, Shana? Is work okay? Oh, okay, nah, today. Well, in the region where I am from, it would be pronounced Sia rather than Shah. One of the problems with having no voice acting is that you kind of have to make things up. Not that it's a problem, but one of the things that you don't normally have when there is voice acting. In fact, it was many, many years before I finally realised that Chocobo was actually Chocobo. I have Final Fantasy X to thank for that. Yeah, you'd think so, Chris. You'd think so. Oh yeah, Joshua, I'm not worried. I think one of the things that Final Fantasy has taught me, along with making YouTube videos, is that there's like multiple various pronunciations of the various words. And it's possible that there's a correct one, whoever wrote and invented the name Ultimacia no doubt had a pronunciation in their own mind, which I guess you would suggest is canon, but if we're not to know that, then I guess we just say it as we read it more than anything. Right, now we're going to go ahead and select yes. Right, so the next plan in terms of story, look at them, is to take the Ragnarok into the lunatic Pandora. But we don't have to do that yet. We can still access the world. Although our time to do that, to actually access the world and the various locations of the world, is running low. It's almost over. We're almost at the point of no return, but we're not quite there yet. Yeah, I'd call Zidane, not Zidane. Mostly because of I think the French footballer from back in the day was pronounced Zidane. And his name was spelt the same. So, that's just what stuck with me. Yeah, Tidus. It's actually Tidus. That is his canon pronunciation. But it was always Tidus to me. Yeah, that's helpful, Kaido Hira. Oh, I see. You switch the letters round. The E and the I. For me, it was always Cypher. Someone the other day said it should be Cipher, I think. But that just sounds weird to me, having said Cypher for so long. No, actually, not today. That's an interesting question about Ultimacia substituting the letter C for the letter K. In the original Japanese, I'm not for the moment going to suggest that I can speak Japanese. I can't, but this is what I've read. Whatever the letter C is in Japanese, well, I know they use characters, but whatever that sound was in Japanese, it was emphasised by Ultimacia. Now, rather than using, say, a capital letter or some kind of bold font in the English translation for the letter C, they just replaced it with the letter K. That is, I guess, to somehow make you realise that that letter is being emphasised, or that sound is being emphasised when spoken. But it kind of doesn't really give that impression. It just makes you think that whoever wrote it can't spell that dialogue. But that's why that happens anyway. Oh yeah, somebody open that can, Mystic Sky. It does a bit, doesn't it, Wes? Right, well, the team are all on board. Oh, Laguna. Back to his old ways. That cramp. Okay. So, now that we've got control of we have, I think. Yeah, we have. We've got control of Raggy again. So, the next part of the story is to fly into the lunatic Pandora. But there's a lot we could... Well, actually, there's not a whole lot we can do before then. But we can access the towns for one final time. So if there's anything left to do that you guys haven't done with the previous videos... for me, for example, I need to get Irvine's ultimate weapon. Then you can still do it later, the weapon. But I'm just going to advise doing it now. Because a lot of the towns get blocked off. The Obel Lake side quest becomes unavailable. The Dalit side quest with the painting becomes unavailable. The Poo Poo quest becomes unavailable. You need to get all that stuff done now, really. Or forever lose out on the rewards. And also the trophies in the remastered version that are associated with those things. This isn't quite the point of no return, Wes. We're not actually there yet, but we are very close to it. Very close. Once we fly the Ragnarok into the lunatic Pandora, we'll be even closer to the point of no return. There'll be one opportunity once we've started those events to leave the Pandora in order to retain access to the world. But once we progress then into the final fight of Disc 3, that's it then. We can't go back into those towns that are closed off. Yeah, you're right, Roxana. We have got the Squall card, so already sorted. But yeah, appreciate that. Anyway, folks, I think we'll leave the stream there for today. I was hoping to get into the Lunatic Pandora, but we can save that for the next one on Friday. Right, so I'm going to make a couple of videos, including how to get Squall's card. Might do a video on the mini-mog, although that's really not that important. It's pretty funny, though. I'll do a video on the Angelo search. I'm going to leave that on overnight today as well and see what we get in the morning. Be interested in that. But yeah, appreciate you guys stopping by for the stream. Shane Tressler, hey bro, please. What's your question, Shane? If I've missed your question, I apologise, but I haven't seen it. The real point of no return is when you defeat Mobile. Yeah, if you go past his room, Red Mario, that's when you can't return, isn't it? So you can actually do that boss fight and then just run back the way you came. Just don't go past him. Hey, sorry, Dark Swordsman. Yeah, that's a shame. Are you streaming today, are you? Yeah, appreciate you stopping by, everybody. Thank you. Shane. Yeah, I'm not sure what your question is, Shane. Something about Final Fantasy 12. I have done a walkthrough on Final Fantasy 12, which you can find on the channel. Ah, did I get all trophies in it? Yes, I did. All trophies. Got the platinum for that. In fact, that Final Fantasy 12 walkthrough I did is more than a platinum walkthrough. It's like 200 videos or something in it. Pretty much cover the heck out of that game. The only thing to note is that it is for the PS4, which is... It has slight differences, the PS4 version, over other editions of Final Fantasy 12. For example, in the Xbox and Switch versions, you can switch jobs. You cannot do that on PS4. And I made that walkthrough before those other versions even came out. So I couldn't, like, say, oh, by the way, this bit's a little bit different here on this version, because it was the only version of the Zodiac Age that existed at the time. But, yeah, I did get the Platinum Trophy. Yeah, see you later, J-Man. Hey, Joshua, that's very kind of you. An end of stream super chat. Nice one. Yeah, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. And if you're able to join me on Friday, then please do so. Should be starting about the same time, 2:30 PM. Yeah, just do exactly what I do, Shane, and you'll get everything there is to get in that game. Yeah, have a good day, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.